Konnichiwa, Kawaii Critic here to review Gotham Season 3, both episodes 21 and 22, the season finale. So, we are in for quite the big review recap. So, we begin this episode in Gotham still in its chaos, and the police department is in a state of chaos as well, and Jim is now dealing with the virus. And as they head out, Harvey wants the gun so that Jim won't do anything bad. In the meanwhile, Bruce is being held since he's still under that uh, curse or whatever you want to call it. Alfred went to him to talk to him, and he talked to Jim and Harvey to get that to happen. Lucius is called over, and Jim claims that he goes over Jim to claim that there is an antidote, and that Doctor Strange, the other Strange, has uh, the antidote possibilities. So we actually do see Strange here, and he's taking money, but he's stopped by Fish Mooney. Then we see the Riddler looking over the town with Barbara. So Barbara's asking Riddler to give him this opportunity to take over the city. So Strange talks with Fish, and she wants the rest of the virus to herself. So that way, when they sell the cure or do whatever they want to do with the cure, they could be in control. So Harvey and Jim check the train station, and Lee calls him, and she's trying to push him to get further into this curse or whatever. And Harvey and Jim are stopped by Fish Mooney, who's accompanied by Freeze and a few other goons. Jim was stopped and prevented from moving forward. We see Alfred continuing to talk with Bruce and how he wants to pave his own way. So Firefly and Freeze get ready to torture Strange with this heat freeze thing they did to him last time. But Penguin attacks him with this sort of hat thing instead. So he gets ready to torture him and does. Harvey and Jim then use his power. Jim uses his power to break the ice. So the police station is still under some pressure. Alfred keeps talking to Bruce, and I must say, Alfred is superb in these two episodes. So Alfred talks about what Bruce's parents did, so we get even more backstory about what they were like. And yeah, his scenes were full of emotion, and I'll get to that in a more bit. But anyway, Lucius saves Alfred from being shot because Alfred went out of the station holding area, and then there was a guy who was possessed. So, meanwhile, while that was happening, Bruce manages to escape. Tabitha and Butch are talking about taking over the club, and he wants to get a drink, but he notices Lee is there at this pub area. So Lee talks about how she wants Barbara dead for some reason. I think they met each other at some point. I'm not sure, but anyway, Bruce is walking the street, still sort of under that influence, and Alfred and Lucius follow him. Meanwhile, Penguin, Fish, and Freeze and Firefly go to with Strange to find the cure. But they are quickly stopped by this new sword group, and Freeze and Firefly once again team attack these hooded figures. Jim and Harvey ride over while Jim is still infected. And we see the battle continue with Freeze and Fire, and Jim and Harvey enter the scene. Uh, and then after that, Jim stabs Fish, making her drop one of the only cures. And Fish apparently dies once again. And who knows if this will be for the real last time this time. But Jim holds the penguin, and Harvey knocks him down. Strange can make more of this, but he said he needed something. I'm not sure what he was after, but anyway, we cut to Butch, who frees the Mad Hatter because he has the touch virus. Riddler uh, somehow knew that Fish was dead. I don't know how he figured that out, but anyway, Bruce finds a red door with this dragon Yuan and goes inside. He enters inside the dragon door, and Alfred sends Lucius to go get some help. So we see these hooded figures, and Bruce enters the door, and they let him through. He sees this green pool, and he slowly starts to hear this voice in the distance. And we learn through this that this is the real Ra's al Ghul. So that character has finally been revealed, and he wants Bruce, of course, to be his true pupil. But Alfred comes in by the hooded figures, and Ra's al Ghul wants Bruce to kill Alfred. Now, with Bruce still infected with this sort of broken mentality, uh, and we see Alfred just accepts this. We see that Bruce does stab Alfred, so Alfred is dying, and then as that is happening, he is broken free from this sort of mental breakdown or whatever you want to call it. And as Bruce is breaking down, Ra's al Ghul is mocking him even further, trying to get him even more upset. So Bruce is attacking, trying to find out where Ra's al Ghul is, but he doesn't come even close. But he quickly gets some of the green water and pours some of it on Alfred, and that is the first part of the episode. We come back for episode 22, where Jim gets this another call from Lee, and he's still trying to pull back, even though it's even less of a use. Uh, Penguin somehow ended up with them. I thought had escaped, so I'm not sure how he ended up in the police station. But uh, Jim said he is out of time and stuff like that. So Butch and Tabitha, Riddler, and Jim interestingly calls the Riddler. So we have Butch and Tabitha, right? And they're still trying to go through this plan how they're gonna deceive Barbara. Butch tries to get Barbara to come in just in time, and we see that the Riddler is gone, and the Mad Hatter is also gone. Uh, we see Penguin being pulled by Jim as they're going toward this meeting. So Jim brings the Penguin in, and Riddler is now there with the Mad Hatter. So the Riddler was with Barbara, and he had escaped with the Mad Hatter, and now he is a part of this negotiation thing. So Hatter sees that Jim is infected, and Barbara barges in with Butch and Tabitha. So Riddler, being the conniving guy he is, throws a grenade and shoots, and a shootout occurs. And in that shootout, the Penguin does escape. But Jim and Harvey do get the Mad Hatter with them. So Barbara is searching for them as this gun now is happening. Uh, and she tells them about Lee as this is happening. Uh, so they took some of Mad Hatter's blood so that they could make some more of the cure after Jim had messed everything up. So the Riddler wakes up, and now the Penguin somehow, I guess he some came back at some point and has him. The Riddler starts to get ready to escape, and Barbara is barking orders at Butch and Tabitha, and they were trying to get more and more through their plan, and they did share like this one kiss moment. Jim takes the cure and rushes out, and we see Bruce now not inflicted with this, and then we see Selina tried to visit him, but he doesn't want anything to do with her. So he pisses her off, and then she leaves. Lee wants Jim to give into the darkness, and then they kiss. So they meet up at some point and do that. But she noticed that Jim had a blue vial which contained the cure, so she breaks that the first time around. And then we see Penguin riding with Riddler some more, and they're arguing back and forth a little bit here. And then we see Riddler escape and attack the Penguin. So the cops uh, are giving the cure to the people as they had these more of these blue vials, and Jim and Lee walk in this like uh, back in the train, I believe. Harvey pulls out this gun, and Jim attacks Harvey. So Harvey gives him the badge with two of the antidotes in it, and then Jim walks out and joins Lee. Uh, he held on to the badge with the carriers and then eventually injected her and himself. And we see Butch talking with Barbara, and we see that she now knew that Butch was up to this whole plan, and decides that she's just gonna shoot Butch in the head. So now he's dead for now. Bruce talks to Alfred about fighting in order to survive. So now the tables have turned, and we see Bruce doing his emotional scenes. Riddler takes Penguin back to the same spot where he killed him, supposedly the last time. Riddler gets ready to shoot, but the gun is empty, and the Penguin had completely had this entire thing planned, and he had Ivy and Freeze ready. So Mr. Freeze freezes the Riddler. Meanwhile, Tabitha looks for Barbara and Butch. Uh, and then she comes across this case with a hand in it, and then we see Barbara pointing a gun at Tabitha. So Barbara admits what she did. They fight back and forth, and they even share a weird kiss, a fighting kiss. Uh, and then Tabitha ends up shocking Barbara by using her whip to knock over a lamp into the water, causing an electrical shock. I believe that is what happened. Uh, so Bruce sees Alfred wake up, and Alfred ensures Bruce will find his own path. So we see that Selina joins Tabitha. We see Selina check out the whip, and she seems to be a natural at this. So we cut to Penguin, who wants to call his club Iceberg, the Iceberg Lounge. So we have that set up now. Jim is looking for Lee, who wrote this letter after he woke up from because the cure knocked him out, and she left with this note, and we see a little montage of all the groups of characters and what they were doing. Uh, so afterwards, Jim joins Harvey for a drink and to do some cop stuff, and we end the season finale with some guy getting ready to kill this family, and we see this masked figure come out and save them, and he this masked figure goes up to the rooftops only to reveal that it was Bruce Wayne. So we are getting awfully close to him accepting the full Batman role. He's officially saved his first group of people. He didn't have, of course, the bat suit. He had more of just like all black on. But yes, we are so close. We have Ra's al Ghul out there now. The war has taken its toll on both sides between the Riddler and the Penguin. Alfred was absolutely amazing in both episodes, and I believe he is what made these two episodes really, really stick out. This is like the type of stuff I wanted to see in, like, for example, like Fear the Walking Dead. I wanted to see that type of acting that gets you invested into the characters and into the moment. So I'm gonna say that this has been my favorite season of Gotham so far, from what I can remember. It has been a while since I've seen the season finale of 1 and 2, but I guess this might be a little bit too fresh in my mind, but it does have a lot. I mean, rarely do we get 2 episodes to give us a season finale, and that is exactly what we got here. So it was a full spectacle uh, of Gotham. So I believe Gotham will be returning in the fall, and from what I can tell, they will be returning now on Thursdays, which will be interesting. So, whenever that does come back, I'll try my best to start reviewing that, but I can't make any more guarantee like that. Depending on when I work at my official job, I did get a job, so that might be a little bit of a harder task to do when that does come back. So, with that being said, that is my review of both episodes 21 and 22, and that wraps up the season 3 finale of Gotham. And if you like this review, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, everyone, bye!